Hello, Seiiti Arata. So, last week we saw why it is hard to say no. It was our episode number 67. You can go to arata.se/hello67. And one of the main reasons for this difficulty saying no is the superhero syndrome. The need for connection is one of the most important human needs. We want people to like us. Hit like on this video, please! This is normal, this is healthy, we have evolved to live in society. What we want is to avoid exaggerating this tendency. And it is a kind of exaggeration to say yes to everything that people ask us. On the one hand, there is a good feeling whenever we can say yes, because there is this feeling of disappointing others that we can avoid. On the other hand, we need to understand that every time that we say yes to something, we're also saying no to something else that we could be doing with our time. And a person who suffers from the superhero syndrome believes that he or she has the duty to sacrifice himself or herself for others all the time. Healthy adult people can survive without you. You are not a superhero. When other people make a request of you, you have to respect their ability to find a solution on their own. If you are not able to help at that particular time, they can look for another way to solve their problems. It's okay. It is even a little bit arrogant to think that you are the only person in the world who can help. See, there are problems whenever you are using this mask of the rescuer. We have already explained that in the video Relationships Without Drama, and you can go to arata.se/without drama. Go to that link because it is essential for you to understand the content of this talk today, of this video. The person who is wearing the rescuer mask in a relationship is the one who has difficulty to modify the relationship and also get out of some abuse. Even in a bad relationship, the one who is in the rescuer role will believe that he or she has some special power and is indispensable to stay there and save the other. The superhero syndrome feeds the illusion that you and only you have the power to save the other person, and therefore you have the responsibility to stay in that relationship, to keep it going. You have to allow for the growth of other people. When you step back and then you say no with sincerity, with love, with humility, you are giving the other person opportunities to develop themselves, to solve their own problems. Invest in self-knowledge. What are your fears about saying no? You know, the fears that motivate you and that block you? If you do not even understand what your fears are, it will be quite difficult to promote any type of change. And that's why we have exercises to overcome all these fears in our course, How to Say No. And these are quick videos that have activities to reshape the structure of your thinking and overcome your fears and anxieties about how to say no. You can go to our link arata.se/how to say no, and then you can get full access. Many people seem to feel an obligation to say yes to everything. We are afraid of being judged. We're afraid of making our colleagues angry. Saying no can induce guilt or fear that people will start to hate us. Understand your priorities. You are the only person who can truly identify the priorities in your life. Your happiness will be determined by your choices. Some people say yes without thinking, without reflecting. If this is your case, when you are unsure of something, you can pause a little bit and consider more saying no before you actually say yes. When it is something that you are not particularly excited about, say no. And watch out for people who insist that you change your mind, that you're really going to enjoy this or that. Nobody has the power to guess or to know for sure what's best for you. You are the only person who can make this evaluation. Understand the consequences and the price that you will pay for saying yes. The only one who will face the consequences is you. It is you who will be affected by the choices that you make in your life. You are the one who has to take responsibility for your decisions. You, and you alone, will pay the price of your lack of assertiveness. So, if you say yes to something that you cannot truly commit, truly do with quality, properly, it is you who will suffer the consequences. If you commit yourself to doing something that you have no joy in doing, it is you who will suffer later. The only one who is wasting time is you. You are not responsible for the reaction of others. Often we say yes out of fear of disappointing others, of fear of hurting others. And this fear comes from that particular desire to connect, to earn approval. And when it is exaggerated, it can be very damaging. We put too much focus on keeping other people happy, and then we forget our focus on achieving the results that we are seeking. In a course, How to Say No, you will learn how to develop the clarity to establish healthy boundaries and to stop obsessing about what other people are thinking of you. And this is how you can make better choices and have more authenticity in your life. See, I know you do not want to be a selfish person. I know that. But when you say yes to everything, even when you would prefer to have said no, this is one way of being selfish, because you're trying to buy the friendship of others by being nice. You're playing the role of the nice and good person, and this is the superhero syndrome. See, life goes on, whether you say yes or no. You can choose to spend your life suffering and always being in a hurry because you say yes too often, you promise too much, or you can spend your life with confidence, focusing on what's really important, at the speed that is suitable for you, and enjoying every minute, living in the present moment, because you knew how to say no. And the choice is yours. Are you going to live the life that you want? You will have to deal with the consequences of your choices. And all of this will start when you realize that you can say no. And for that, you can go to our website, and then you can take our course, How to Say No, at arata.se/How to Say No.